so this heavyweight conundrum that we have right now with the two title belt holders, clearly the two best heavyweights in the world, as long as Tyson Fury's not quite what he used to be yet. Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua are not fighting each other. Still, though, the set the room, right? What the heavyweight division is today is a stark contrast to what it's been the 10 or 15 years prior, in that today's heavyweight scene includes a lot of like pretty decent contenders like Luis Ortiz and Joseph Parker. There's other people as well. And then you've got Tyson Fury, right? You've got Deontay Wilder. You've got Anthony Joshua. That's a really good group of fighters. We didn't have that for a long time, right? For the longest time in boxing, we had two really excellent and are considered or will be or should be considered all-time great heavyweights, except they were brothers, Vitali Klitschko and Wladimir Klitschko. And just the difference it is right now in all the possibilities, because the trouble we had in the Klitschko era wasn't necessarily that people, I mean, part of it was people didn't like the way the Klitschkos fought, although they fought differently. That's a whole other subject. Vladimir. They didn't like Vladimir. So Vladimir suffered some losses early in his career.
Well, yeah, that. But what I thought was that people didn't like Vitali because I liked Vitali Klitschko, or however you say his first name.
I said Vitali for the first time because that's how you're supposed to say it. I'll always say Vitali.
Because he was so dominant with how he controlled the ring.
Yeah.
And that's what I liked about it. I know other people found that boring and dull, and so they just didn't like it.
To me, the Klitschkos were different animals. I agree, like, Vitali Klitschko was dominant, and I will say this about him. He didn't have a lot of great competition to fight, but he fought what was available, and he completely destroyed them. And I'm saying that if you go back and look at people like Samuel Peter or whoever, if you look at Vitali's wins, after people fought Vitali Klitschko, they were never the same. And like Chris Arreola, like just bludgeoned them. And he had a kind of power that was like different than Vladimir's power, and that Wladimir, if he caught you right, would knock you out. But Vitali seemed to be like a thudding power that just beat you down. And he was so good, and he was such a good fighter. And to me, he's one of the all-time great heavyweights. I'd put him, like, if you had this mythical thing where everybody could fight each other at their best, like, Vitali Klitschko, that guy comes out pretty far ahead in that tournament. And that's just the truth, just the way he fought. Wladimir, to me, like, he was really excellent in what he did, which was jab. He had an all-time great jab and his cross, and that's all really he tried to do is outbox people, and he would take the knockout if it came.
Well, and remember, because like the difference between them when they fought earlier on was that Vitali fought tall. He fought with his height, or this is how I remembered it, and Wladimir didn't.
Yeah.
Vladimir, like, we would describe him as like a baby deer, like coming out, like, you know, and then he would get knocked out, but then he changed, right?
Because he couldn't, he didn't have the chin.
A new trainer, right? He got a new trainer, and then he changed the whole way that he fought, which was to use his height for protection, right? Because you can use your height to protect yourself against some things, and then he was a better fighter.
Here's what's a shame to me, just that those two guys didn't have Wilder, Joshua, Ortiz, Tyson Fury, even all these other guys. I mean, I know that Wladimir fought Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua and lost to him, but that's 38, 39-year-old Wladimir. Right. I'm talking about like younger Wladimir, and maybe even especially Vitali Klitschko, because to me, those guys, I'm a big Vitali Klitschko fan. Vitali Klitschko for sure. I would take Vitali Klitschko over any of those guys today, just flat out, because he was a better fighter. People don't like Vitali Klitschko. He gets a lot of he was a first ballot Hall of Famer, which was a surprise to many because people didn't like the aesthetics of how he fought. Like he was kind of herky jerky and didn't look right, but like that dude could just flat out fight. You know, like he knew when to move his head. He had a great chin, fighting power. I wish we could see those fights. It's a shame those guys didn't get those opportunities, but they did have great careers, and both of them, I think, are Hall of Famers for sure and all-time greats as well.
Yeah. Well, one of the interesting things to consider about that time period is, did like a Klitschko's, or especially Vitali Klitschko, did he make the competition seem like less formidable than what it was?
Yes.
So maybe if you had that same competition today, would it seem more formidable? I also feel like people look back on the heavyweight division with some time, and they tend to look back on the division more favorably.
Yeah.
So maybe like while you're in it, I just think that the heavyweight division is one of those divisions that doesn't always have like the prime, like top athletes in it.
Right.
It's a hard division to always have that because of the size of fighter that you're looking for. So you have tons of fighters that don't meet that size requirement out there. So you're looking. So you tend to have maybe some overweight fighters who are in that division, maybe aren't as athletic as what they could be, and so I think it's just a division that maybe we tend to look back on it more favorably than maybe while we're in it.
So just to kind of wrap it up here, because it turned into a Klitschko fest. Who's your favorite Klitschko?
Oh, it's Vitali.
Yeah, me too. All right, well, Klitschko, all-time great. Either one of them. That's our take.